Hello, my name's Miss Siddiqui and I'm Head of Art at Heaven Comprehensive School. I'm going to give you a short introductory talk to choosing GCSE at Year 10 and Year 11. So the first thing you'll probably be doing is thinking about why am I going to be choosing art and design like all your other subjects. You'll be weighing up things. It might be because you enjoy the subject, you've already been very good at it, you've enjoyed it through years 7, 8 and 9, but you also might want to follow a career path in art and design, going on to college, going on to university and to actually have a job using art and design, which is great. So I usually ask my year 10s and 11s, why did you actually choose art and design at GCSE? And they'll be like, oh, it's fun, I'm really good at it. I've really developed my skills from year 7 to 8 and 9, and I maybe want to go to university or, maybe follow it as a career path in some way. It's going to open up lots of doors. So studying GCSE, you will do two main projects and they're called a coursework. You'll do a further study which is based on a trip and you'll do an exam. So if you're going to study GCSE Art, you can do that as a single subject. You can choose a single subject at photography and a single subject at textiles. But there is a combination where you can choose art and photography or textiles and photography, but you can't do art and textiles together because of the amount of coursework you'll be getting through. So in your GCSE, from the moment you sit down in year 10, everything that you do in the classroom, in the two projects and the one further study, is 60% of your final grade, and you will do an exam when you're in year 11, which is 40% of your final grade. So it's really, really important for your coursework to be kept up to date, meeting deadlines, fulfilling everything that the teacher asks you to do, because we know that's going to get you 60% of your final GCSE. So on the course, we usually base our two projects briefly around past exam questions, and we kind of rewrite them to make them exciting and kind of new each year. So you'll be doing the two projects, which are going to be, one of them is a painting or drawing and the other is a 3D project. And you're also going to use ICT, and you are going to use materials which we haven't actually got access to them at Key Stage 3 because they are quite expensive. So you'll be using plaster of Paris, you'll be casting, you will be using clay, glazing, you'll be using assemblage, building structures and sculptures, and doing some sort of large scale work as well. All very exciting. The sky's the limit. We're very well known in the county for our very strong 3D department. So one of the questions pupils sometimes ask is it hard and do I have to do loads of work? Well, the answer really is yes. You have to have some kind of like decent drawing skills. We're not saying you have to be like a photorealist, perfect at drawing, but you have to be able to do a bit of drawing, and you've built up your skills in years 7, 8 and 9 to be able to do that. You should be working to coursework deadlines because, as I mentioned before, 60% of your final grade is your coursework. So we want you to make sure that you complete the amount of evidence and the quantity of work that's needed. We do have an art club, which is probably about 3 times a week after school. We ask you to do a 1-hour art club. If you can't stay for art club, we ask you just to take art materials home and to try and work at home. And the other thing is that you can't just do the final piece of artwork that pops into your head for a project. You have to do the preparation, the research sheets, which I'll go into in a little bit. And you have to basically document the journey that you're making from the start of an idea until the final artwork. So if you walk into one of the GCSE rooms and you see all the pupils working, you might get the wrong impression that it's quite laid back, too laid back, might be some music on in the background, it's quite a chilled atmosphere, everybody's focused and on task, but it isn't an easy subject, okay? So you won't just be sitting there listening to music, colouring in, you will have to do annotations and you will have to do writing and you will have to work to strict deadlines. I would say if I asked my year 11 pupils at the moment, do you think it's a tough subject? And all of them nod and say yes, because it is time consuming. You know, it's not an easy subject at all. Please do not think that, oh, I get on with the art teachers and they're quite laid back. It is very, very demanding. So I would have a think to yourself about, you know, am I going to be dedicated? Am I going to be able to produce the work? Because it is your coursework. The coursework is 60% of your final grade. We are quite strict with our deadlines, and we accept nothing than your best. Okay, so you have been through year 9 in lockdown. So this is just to remind you the type of artwork that we've been doing in the art department with Key Stage 4, which is year 10 and year 11. This was some work from last year. They are paintings, very large paintings, A1 size paintings of with the theme of the distorted face. So a bit of mixed media work and watercolour work. We have got a beautiful study here from a pupil who based this all on her grandmother. So you've got a little bit of watercolour work, some pencil work and collage. She actually gained a level 9 with this work, so that's absolutely superb. And we've got these two pieces of work which were, you know, pencil drawings and this portrait in watercolour with a kind of jigsaw. If you look carefully, you can see that the image is on the jigsaw as well. So it's a pretty sort of clever composition there. It goes on to looking at different materials and presenting things in slightly different ways. We've got some ink work and some painting on canvases, some lovely colourful chalk pastel work going on here, and we are famous, as I said, in the county for our 3D work. And these are large scale sculptures which are based on everyday objects, and we've done a fantastic food project as well. We do have a clay. We do have clay and plaster of Paris, and we're very lucky to have a kiln which we are regularly using. We've also got some slightly sort of crazy sort of graffiti style, sort of urban pop arty kind of work here. This is work in progress with one of our year 11 pupils who loves graffiti art, and then on the right here we've got a self-portrait which is all made out of clay and fired in the kiln. As I was mentioning, the sketchbook and research work are an integral part of the GCSE, so you can't just come up with those final pieces of work. These are the documented kind of sheets which show the examiner how you're thinking, which artists you've looked at, how you've experimented, what's gone right, what's gone wrong, and that examiner can actually follow the pathway and your thinking to coming up with your final piece of work. Here are some examples of sheets. Now, in your surrealism project that you're doing at the moment in year 9, we have actually started to get you to work in the style and the approach that we would expect in GCSE. So you can see here is the research sheet on an artist, and there are some examples, and the pupil here has worked in the style of the artist and also analysed the work. Again here, if you feel that you want to present your work on a computer, if your handwriting or your spelling or your grammar needs to be addressed, then we do support you with annotations. We do help you, but this here itself is an absolutely beautiful sheet based on Joseph Cornell. You can see there's some extra sheets we put in here, and these are current year 11's work where they are testing out different colours and techniques and textures, looking again at ideas and different artists' work which feed into their final piece of work. We are very lucky that we take our pupils to trips outside of school to look at real artwork. Very, very, very important, as looking at a screen doesn't show the texture or the shape or the form or even the scale of things. We've been to trips to Edinburgh, Newcastle, Durham, Middlesbrough, Sunderland, went to the Yorkshire Sculpture Park. This work that's shown here was from the BP Portrait Awards, which we were very lucky to see in the Sunderland Winter Gardens. It linked into our portrait work in year 11, and pupils have then worked in style of Picasso. So everything that we do outside of school links back into the coursework, and we know that that's going to get our pupils some good grades towards their final GCSE. So these photographs were taken today in school during the Easter holidays. So you can see they're all sort of, we've got quite a few pupils in, having a bit of fun, happy, getting their coursework done, ticking off what they need to do before they are leaving. We come in over our holiday time, we support our pupils, we hold art clubs after school, and there is always a kind of relaxed but focused vibe going on in the department. This is one of our pupils who's just finished his work today. I think he's very happy with that. And we try to encourage pupils to express what's going on in their lives inside and outside of school. The more the personal response, the better. And what happens after GCSE? You can go on to study BTEC at a higher level, or A-level courses at college, and then eventually on to a degree. And obviously there are loads and loads of careers in art and design. We've got loads of posters up around in the art department to help inform you on those. Games designers, illustrators, graphic designers, teachers, art therapists, fashion, interior designers, plus many more. So I just wanted to kind of round up by taking a look at this pupil. His nickname was Fudgy, and he was a year 11 pupil. He was predicted at the time an A and A star. He then went on to Newcastle College to study art. He got a first-class honours degree and now is working as a professional artist. So what have our past pupils done? Here's just a few of them. Jack Moore, now an architect, getting some beautiful buildings built. He had a primary school built in London not so long ago. David Pinder, he's now a car designer. He travels all over the world. He's in New York. He's in Japan. Louise Forshaw is an illustrator for children's books. Tom Moore, brilliant tattoo artist down in Hebburn, has his own tattoo studio, living the dream. Jamie Grogan is a freelance portrait artist, and she has her own website, and she makes a living from doing her drawings. So just to conclude, if you've got any questions at all about choosing GCSE Art and Design, the people to ask would be myself, Miss Siddiqui, Miss Turner or Miss Fawcett. If you want to email us or phone up the school, we'll be happy to help. Okay, thanks ever so much. Take care. Bye.